be 1 or hell nil if that lower bracket run doesn't work out for either of them. We're not trying to end up on that long road.
And look, when we look over towards sort of what Talon has to do if they go down to the lower bracket, you have to potentially compete with either FlyQuest or DRILLAS. You also have to go up against Lynn, a Chinese side that, you know, it has so many question marks around it. There's so little preparation you can do for them. For Talon, it does feel like it's now or never. And Rear Adam, of course, they want to go forward now, but they are the favorites here. They are the ones who you would expect to be able to make a better showing of a lower bracket run, but they don't want to get there.
Yeah, first map in the series between Rare Adam and Talon to make it into the opening stage of Shanghai. We start on an unlikely battleground. It's the 51 floors of Vertigo.
All the way up, but who's going to be falling down? Child King hoping that he can take down a couple of the heads from the Talon side as leads a charge. Child King avoids a charge. Sometimes the best thing to do when there's horses running at you, run away.
And he didn't fall back into the sandbags angle. Would have been met by double nades. Talon not finding anything for that util, but all this space has been taken over towards B. Rare Adam, after the util's been thrown, heavily rotated in support of that A bomb site, so it's free for the picking.
Somebody trying to round the corner around Generator as they push forward. Addict is also waiting for it, but he's not going to find anything. Li Hang and Summer dismantle this offensive start for Talon. It's only Nedek left alone, a 1 versus 3, rounded on all corners, bullets in the face, and it's Kaze that put him down.
Yeah, it might have been free getting in, but it wasn't free leaving this round. I mean, Rare Adam coming guns blazing, realizing their mistake. I mean, they get a flurry of frags so rapidly, just as Talon were setting up in their post plans, just as they got that bomb down. There were players still segmented or trapped in the site, still playing in angles where they could support that planter. And yeah, I mean, Rare Adam surprisingly just deal with that pistol very effectively. Because they didn't have kits, you know, they didn't have retake utility. They did have to just kind of swarm and flood back into the site, and it was very successful.
This was one of the worries that obviously we came into yesterday as well, which is that no matter what you can say about Talon, hey, they play EUCS, this and that, firepower can sometimes overrun them, and that's what hopefully Rare Adam are looking to do. Summer responds to an early aggressive start from Netic, who was one of the main firepower pieces for the Talon side yesterday. Him and Emichel would be no surprise to say. Fly forward from Li Hang, finds himself the quick headshot. Moving in is somebody as a second prong, but turns out Kaze is a second swing. That's what you have to be more worried about.
This is a good reset from Hazard, not sticking around and forcing isolated fights. Hazard has got himself some position over at B, and if they're able to get that bomb back over, you know, 2 players breaking into the bomb site will be harder to handle. Given that Rare Adam are a bit segmented, it's going to be difficult for them to find the right time to deploy utility. They're not going to be able to get these smokes out to stall out Talon.
Nade to the back of Azza's behind. Somebody trying to push forward. Azza had a chance to turn it back to a 2 versus 1. Now instead, Hazard all alone. Mac 10 good for 1, but none beyond that. Azza and Hazard in a clutch together, isn't that annoying?
Yeah, I mean, to find them on the same team is a little bit of a coincidence, I suppose, but that's a really close shave for Adam. Somebody almost could have dropped that ball as well. I mean, used up quite a lot of bullets to clear out the Jet player. Didn't commit to the reload because they wanted to fight on a double swing. I think on his final bullet, able to piece it all together. Still, from a man deficit, back-to-back rounds where Talon have had an uncontested bomb plant on B, but they just cannot finish these rounds.
Kaze.
Extra plant money does go towards an AK, so Hazard is a weapon that Talon can maybe use to pry bar their way into a site.
Love the angle from Li Hang, just playing it very conservatively, not giving them any opportunity at all till the double swing can present itself 1 for 1, and they're happy with that for Rare Adam. That incendiary will be running out very soon. A minute 20, you can see how many of these CT players have started to gravitate back into middle already. That's all because of where Summer is aggressively postured right next to Bridge in A, and He's the key to this entire round.
I didn't actually see that everybody on Talon had invested in armor and pistols alongside it. You know, that's the courtesy they have with the extra bomb money and the accruing loss bonus. So this has the lethality of a force buy, and yeah, somebody gets absolutely blasted. I mean, it's still SMGs around here for rare item, but they lose their effectiveness when these guys have armor. Problem is they're missing health.
MHL spots out another one, but he's waiting for a peek that's never going to come. Child King takes the elevation, and MHL taken down. At to 3 versus 3. Time now low. The commitment towards B has to be made. Talon realized it. AK not recoverable, so you can't be continuing to juggle the hero back and forth. It has to come down to the Deagles, and a slow peek forward from Lihan gives him one. Could be more to come. Around the corner of the smoke, Nedic gets himself outside of it, and that's where his demise awaits. Addict all alone. No time, nothing to do but accept his fate and request death from the rare item side.
Yeah, they'll oblige. This time able to keep 3 alive, so a round in which they end up in a net neutral in terms of their economy. Of course, you know, coming down to one player in the round trying to deal with the actual full force plan by Talon did damage their funds quite substantially. Had Talon been able to do more of that damage, you know, for this oncoming gun round, it could have left Rare Adam in a bit of a precarious spot, but able to wrangle it with 3 up does give them a substantial buy moving into the first full investment round from Talon. Been really prioritizing this mid fight in the past couple of rounds.
Goes both ways. Summer picks up one. Lihang has been a big man so far. Unfortunately, he'll be taken down with just a single kill as well. Talon have plenty of time to reset and move back, and as you mentioned before, Michael, mid has been a priority, and Rare Adam is showing us that it will remain so, reasserting back over to make sure there's no lurkers or anything of the sort. Somebody has given up position as he moves back to get utility. Spots out, but Child King's been taken out. Somebody all alone on this B bomb site. It's a one-on-one at least, but not something that Nedic is going to be giving up.
Yeah, I mean, critical kill there for Nedic. MHL low HP, other side of the map. Had Nedic gone down there, that clutch is incredibly winnable there for somebody. But it is sadly not to be. Both Talon and Rare Adam have been on a collision course on mid, and it's been about how they vary their setups. I mean, you've seen now 3 different looks from the mid hold for Rare Atom. And you know, it is still a fairly linear path that Talon would have to take if they continue to try and find that opening through mid. Scrappy
Should Rare Adam lose over here? Yeah, scrappy investment. Should they lose over here, they will have their money pushed down.
You have to be pushed in that direction.
Good for that first.
Yeah, the aggression in from close short is not to be underestimated with that 5-7, but you can see Rare Adam were trying to jump spot, pull out any trick they could to gather information. This is the first round we've seen, you know, a proper slow A-side default from Talon so far.
And despite that, look at what Rare Adam are doing. They're gravitating back to mid. This is the power of conditioning. Right here, of course, Summer's always going to be in position to quickly rotate back over and provide support onto A. And they are going to have a faster flank theoretically available from somebody, but it's all about when the triggers will be pulled. Smokes come out, utility is there. This should be the hit from Talon. Double flank being set up from Rare Adam, but Summer's already found the one through the smoke. That's exactly what they needed. A boost up might give him another opportunity, and he doesn't take it. MHL wins the duel. Bomb now down. Flank soon to be sussed out. Somebody reveals with the quick kill. It's still commitment further on from Lihang. MHL and Addict. MHL fighting back. Addict still full health, still unnoticed, trying to reroute backwards. MHL giving him time and space, but it still comes down to the Australian man to try and win this round. Addict hidden away behind a smoke, nestled true inside CT spawn. As he peeks forward, he'll find them both.
I mean, that is fantastic. I mean, the positioning is incredibly strong for a default plant like it. He could have taken a small timing towards gap as well. You know, there were many possibilities that were running through the Rare Adam heads, but just as they tap it, Addict, the perfect lineup. And this round could have fallen away from Talon. The fact that Summer is able to get one kill to stall, I think that really did help in sort of disabling their check at the flank. And, you know, Lihang has just continued to be on a tear, but his kills are of no importance if the rounds cannot be won. Addict has been, I mean, just the positioning is flawless, didn't lose control of the spray. Exactly what you would want.
Full execute coming out towards the B-bomb side, but somebody in Lihang going through with big damage. Kaz is the one to actually finish off as his life, and suddenly the T side is wondering, do we go forward? There's clearly a stack over here, but we don't want to let them get our AKs either. That's why they're going to settle for something in between. Netic stays behind, waits for the kill. Shard King next to the bomb as well. I didn't even notice that had been dropped. Netic brings it right back, but it got a little bit sweaty.
I mean, I don't know what is happening with the calling, but right now it feels like almost every round they're calling almost the mirror of each other. You know, this is the first round that Talon commits to almost a full side B attack, and that's where Rare Adam have gone with a 5-man stack. That could have been disastrous, because that's the only time they've gone an accelerated schedule, and where you can lose your head is going too quickly into pistols and not clearing all these angles. They dodged that bullet.
Rare Adam will be without an ult for a very long time, by the way.
This is how the game is going to play out. I wouldn't be surprised if Talon have the same problem. Assuming MHL wants it.
Yeah, I don't think MHL wants one, to be honest. He's been killing it with the rifle. T-side Vertigo as well. Obviously, a lot you can do with the AWP, but with how comfortable MHL looks on the AK, I wouldn't blame him. Radam again, 2 players out towards middle. I think that might have actually been a stack attempt over there as well. Not sure, can't tell. It's just a radar. But they disassemble. Information will be gained for the fact that there is no one on ramp. That's definitely a stack going on A. Reinforcements in B, Kaze alone. 40 seconds left. This is generally when the trigger is pulled by Talon to go hit a site. Instead, it's to try and retake mid. Summer, right, open arms, open fire, but open mid side as well for the Talon team. Rihan waits for the crossfire. They're ready. Kaze and somebody tearing them apart. And Talon has been taken apart.
Yeah, as much as somebody gets completely caught, they'd already cheated a third player over towards that B-bomb site. So, in a way, it serves as a poison chalice. You know, 40 seconds by the time you're starting to set yourself up for that B-side split. Talon were almost certainly going to fall into that trap each and every time, whether or not they, you know, got a clean kill on Summer or not. This was a great bit of coordination between the two of them, understanding that they had that trap lane, and it was just all about who took first contact. All words being exchanged after a round like that. I mean, basically perfectly read by Rare Adam. After some initial presence over at A, they don't make any following steps. You know, not too dissimilar to the slow A default, but this time they didn't show that presence towards short. And so Rare Adam felt a little bit more comfortable to lean B. You just cannot really separate these teams as of now. There's been so many collision courses.
Can't separate them on the scoreboard, you can't separate them on the server.
Somebody needs to get between them and pull them apart.
It's like, guys, don't get a room. Come on, you're playing against each other.
Yeah.
Could have been an early probe out towards B, has been dissuaded by utility from Rare Adam. Child King, in the meanwhile, just holds on to A. He's had a quieter start than maybe some of the Chinese fans would like to see, but they have plenty of champions standing up on Team Purple for now.
Well, he will be tested. This time, Talon are sending their sights towards A. Good smoke. Small gap that Kaze can play around with, but it can serve both ways. The fact that Talon are contacting in, I mean, Kaze's position just becomes so much stronger because of it.
Talking, hoping to play off with Kaze. He's lost his life. Kaze picks up 3 with a farmers. How has he done that? Even the P2K immediately after. So much damage on the Netic, he's wondering where his life and where his teammates have gone.
I mean, that's a beautiful round from Kaze. Full exploit of the smoke. And Talon try and contact back up ramp. It goes terribly wrong. They didn't have the util to flush out all the segments of the map. They came in with a bit of a broken buy. Sure, they had rifles, but they were missing out on grenades. And with 10 seconds left, no health to make this feasible. Medic will try and get that plant in, and he cannot secure that extra money. We're at him a great shutdown, but it's Kaze on the FAMAS. You know, a little help there from Child King to pull attention, but great control from Kaze.
Honestly, it even looked like at time Child King was the one being set up for in this situation, but no. Kaze is the one who steals away those kills. And Rare Adam have consistently been calling themselves to be in the right positions, right? To receive talent and aggression. It's really been the 2-3-man setups that have maybe been the problem about, okay, who's got the better setup in the crossfires? Who's got the better flashes coming through? These past 2 rounds, they've just been impeccable crossfire from Rare Adam, right? You look over towards that late mid B hit, they've got somebody in Kaze waiting behind heaven.
I mean, just back-to-back rounds, you know,
yeah.
that Rare Adam have built these crossfires ready to greet the pack of Talon.
And where we were looking for separation, now it should be at least 3 to separate Rare Adam from Talon. Has been a very strong hand over here on the B-bomb side, but Addict somehow with the Glock comes out with 2. They can recover this AK-47 as well. There's another one not too far off. A smoke down, but it's too late. Netic gives up his life to the Molotov HE combination. Addict still very healthy, waiting for the peek out from Kaze. Good for another one. Somehow has come through in this round with 3 kills and a bomb plant. How's he done that?
It's a lot. It's a lot more than you would have expected, but Rare Adam is just satisfied with rounds. I mean, they've had a couple now where they've been able to accrue some cash, so they can take these losses, especially as we approach the end of this half. Talon just need to find some kind of winning formula, something to crack in and get more rounds on the board. Because this OS mixed bag finds itself meeting wall after wall. It doesn't matter which way they go. Most rounds of separation we've seen so far in this map. A lot more of a concerted effort here for Rare Adam to contest towards ramp. Maybe expecting a difference in approach. Talon have played a pretty conservative game on these extremities. When they've been hunting, it's been typically through middle, but they do not want to give these fights over too early.
Yikes.
Rare Adam are using a lot of util, and Talon are missing theirs.
Yeah, that's all where the flashbang's supposed to go. Some nerves, perhaps.
It looks to be an A-side finish. Unless Addict's able to fish out a kill at B somehow.
They're not giving it to him. Look at where Rare Adam is playing out towards, but no, look at where Rare Adam is playing out towards, Michael. Now, words applicable, but in a very different sense. Starting to lean back over towards B, but with that Molotov position reveal, Child King once again goes back to his favorite pillar on the map. Somebody still waits for what he is assuming will be a late lurk. Child King will have his chance. Utility in the hands of Azza. He's now pulled his gun out, but it will not matter. Beautiful spray down on 2 spots at the hip of number 3, Kaze. There to cover it off. An Addict That one only kill he was looking for, well, it's instead a lonely save that he will aim towards.
Well, he threw the util. I mean, he sold the idea of a B-side assault, and Rare Atom bit down. That's why they gave up all that space at A. But Talon massively misread how quickly Rare Atom are going to react. And by the time they actually get back into that A bomb site, I mean, Child King's position is super strong, but there was also presence inside of the site. Where once they left Child King on that island, by the time Talon are up the ramp, there is more than enough stopping power here for Rare Atom. And that's just a bit of a mismanagement of timings. You know, Nedic has already, Addict, sorry, has already thrown all the util. He's trying to run that interference, and after they try and make that rotate back, Addict is waiting for a sound cue of some capacity to instigate his next move. I mean, he got smoked off at the front entrance to B. What is he going to walk through when his teammates are collected together in what should be a lesser contested site? It would have been contact made by his teammates first. And, well, Child King just plays spoiler. You know, he said he got off to a bit of a slow start. Didn't exactly get the most duels. Everything's been sort of mid or B. And now when they've come A, you know, I mean, Kaze did take 3 in that direction, but... Falcon getting his own multi-kill now.
Remember that inseparability we were talking about, Michael? It's becoming a gaping chasm.
Yeah, it's been very separable.
It's been super separated, actually. And Kaze likes it that way. Will be given a chance to make it perhaps even more so. As I spotted out, Molotov to try and segment off the push on either side, but somebody has been made a little bit all on his lonesome. Good for 2 kills, swings out for maybe more, but MHL shuts him down, recovers the M4A4. A grenade at their feet would have made things difficult, but it doesn't sail far enough. Netic and his shots, however, do. They've taken them the distance, and Talon might be given a chance right back into things. With that fast B-side push, Kaze, who was unable to prevent it, must now contemplate the retake. Money's not great for the CT side either, but they should be able to get a buy together in the next round, I think, nonetheless. Kaze certainly does seem to think so, but now with this many players close by, there's still a reason to turn back, a reason to save. He doesn't find it. He's looking for the kills, but he's traded away instead. It's tough days for Rare Atom in the last round of this half.
Yeah, and this was Talon just honestly making a great buying choice. They don't just continuously snap into force buys. I mean, with the amount of rounds that they've lost consecutively, they could have, you know, gone Galil, armor, a bit of util, but that's just not the ideal scenario. You want to have good resources, so they go in with this half buy. And this is one of the few moments where Rare Atom haven't been able to forecast what Talon are doing. They haven't been able to build that crossfire. And as much as somebody was able to run some interference by getting his kill towards B main and keeping himself alive, forcing Talon players away from the site itself just to hunt him down, it still didn't serve to be enough. I mean, Nedic with those 2 kills from the players emerging from the generators actually just swings the round entirely into Talon's favor. So I think the fact that Talon went with that buying choice changed the internal timers of Rare Atom, where they thought they might still be on rifles. They might be fishing for kills. And that change of pace works to their advantage. Like you said, Rare Atom's money is not an ideal spot for this last round of the half.
Oh my goodness, that's why MHL did want the op. I take my words back. Child King doesn't feel very good about that at all. Felt like he was getting a resurgence, felt like he was finding some form after that one good round on the A site, and he's gone. Yeah,
that also might be one of the worst jump spots he's ever done. So, you know, jumping straight up.
I've seen some bad ones from him, I won't lie to you.
You just jump straight up. You're not making it very difficult for an Oper to hit that shot. The important part is that MHL did. So a massive punishment. Rare Atom gonna have to find something to compensate. They try and find this fight in mid, and the damage is good, but Lihang empty-handed.
Was that a CT incendiary? Why was there a CT incendiary there? Well, we might never know. Kaze, but the Farmers has made magic happen before as well, but now it is, it's a lot to ask for. Azer's already pushed forward aggressively. He's moved past what should be the first line of defenses and going back to block off rotate. Summer's demise makes them turn around. And, well, that's where Azer is going to find somebody. Kaze, 1 versus 5, triple kill earlier on. This should be impossible. Good for the first. Azer coming around, waiting for the swing. MHL provides assistance. A distraction is all Azer needed. TALON find 5.
Yeah, Kaze would have had to show off a FAMAS masterclass that I don't even think the FAMAS knows it's capable of. I mean, this was a great set of couple of rounds from TALON, from the low buy investment in the penultimate round of that half, and also just allowing MHL to slow work on that AWP into the A side attack. Just picked Rare Adam to pieces. So, a road to salvation has been carved. 7-5 is respectable enough, and you know, you win a pistol, the conversion round, and the game is tied. The pressure gets raised towards Rare Adam.
Bomb has been planted.
Seems like we might be entering the realms of inseparability soon enough again.
Terrorists win.
That's the thing with the way that the Counter-Strike can sort of swing in your favor. All it takes is one of these rounds, one of these moments, and you know, you break the money. You maybe even damage the outlook for your opponents on how these rounds are going to play out, and you've got a full-on comeback going your way. But Yo's boys need a pistol.
Rare Adam are not making it complicated. They're running up they're going to the bomb site and they're trying to plant the bomb. They've got a smoke, they've got a Molotov, and they've got that twice over. It's an execute, it's exactly what you want to see, but that's not what you want to see. Netic's demise, but a Molotov miss. That means Addict can scale back up, and he's scaled into death. Child King, where he couldn't defend, he will offend on the A site instead. Summer traded away, rather he's got his life. Kaze doesn't. 1-on-1. Just how you would have it. Summer's got the bomb and a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, and he's also got access to this B bomb site. I mean, the routing is really good here for Summer. Immediate recognition of where Hazard was last located, but also anticipating the fact that he could rotate through spawn and be on that collision course. Hazard is sticking by and committed to this angle and gap, but he has to consider the possibility of that B-Rap at some point.
Oh, timing is perfect. Couldn't be better. Hazard with 3. That is beautiful stuff coming through. Good recovery from Child King and Summer over there on the bomb side itself, but that failed Molotov does seem like it'll come back to bite them just a little bit. But even so, a winnable situation. Hazard is the one to take it home.
I mean, I think it did bite them. I mean, you saw Child King get a couple of kills, and then Addict was still able to play from that headshot angle. Had the Molotov hit, then, you know, Addict can sort of transition into that angle out from elevators. So, you know, it didn't have immediate repercussions, but it's that reinforcements from TALON where, yeah, misting tilt will bite you. Beautiful shot from Hazard. Got a triple in that round. And a clutch on top. A very clear intention force buy here from Rare Adam. Didn't even get the bomb plant down, but understanding how many kills they found and the likely scenario here for Talon, but pulling together a round like this can be quite troublesome. The angles of Vertigo are long enough, especially when you don't have, you know, a deagle or something of that nature. It can be hard to dislodge these CT defenders. That's only if they commit to those long-range fights, in which, right now, Talon are starting to cede a lot of that control, and Rare Adam actually have quite a bit of open runway towards A.
It is the Tech 9s that gave Talon a chance. It could be the ones to take them away as well. Somebody good for one, and as it trades, but Lee Hank trying to play the late game with the MAC-10. Always a difficult move to make, but he will be having a chance to come through with a flank in time. Finds Hazard, takes him down. Kaze loses his life, and so does Child King. Liang still in a flanking position, but can also try and take the fight from the front. In the meanwhile, Summer does His job makes quick work of the opposing IGL. Life has been lost, but Summer's been given so much to play with. Another 1v1, another chance for Summer. And as he starts to swing forward, Addict's got the defuse kit. It gives him too much confidence of trying to go for that stick.
Oh, he really just thought he could call the bluff of Summer in that moment, but Summer wanted the fight. As soon as he knew he was close enough to that ramp, the Tech 9, the lethality of it just increases tenfold. And it is a misread. All this given ground. Talon get haunted for it. And Lihang played that perfectly. I mean, got his one kill, held his spot, didn't try too hard or too desperately to save his teammates in that post plan. And he kind of teed Summer up for that that triple kill that he's able to bring across the line. Oh dear. Winning the pistol's not enough. Needed the conversion with it. Talon will buy themselves. But is it a forced buy war? Or would this investment from Talon maybe contribute to their undoing on their map pick in the series?
I mean, their setup doesn't look conducive at all to being able to get an upset out, right? Like, there isn't a stack going on. There isn't a flash play being lined up by MHL. Unless in the late round, Rare Adam overthink and move into what could be a later assembly of one, it would take purely individual skill for Rare Adam to walk away with this.
It's a very good move there from Addict. Beat past the timing on the Molotov for the re-clearing of the B steps for Rare Adam, so had he stuck around and tried to make those dualies work, it could have spelt his undoing.
HIS space UNDOING. There you go, his undoing. Addict taken down. And Summer wants to accelerate. These CT pistols will not be in time to receive only the one to welcome guests, and it's not a very good welcome at all. Hazard unable to find the kills.
Yeah, Talon will try and save what little they have. They know that they don't have much of a claim to this retake. MP9 in Azur's hands. That does hold quite a lot of value. But I mean, Rare Adam just got some clean kills on B, and they needed a bit more to incentivize this force buy to get the engine roaring. Nicely handled, though, by Rare Adam. Slow, concise. Cleared those B steps and immediately tried to make use of track laid out. And, you know, there's a possibility they could have fallen into a stack, but they got confirmation of a couple numbers trying to contest at the start of the round. And as much as there could have been more behind it, they heard no grandiose rotates or anything of the sort after Rare Adam cut sound. And so they just reworked that area of the map. The call is simple, but sometimes simple works.
Yeah. Most of the time in CSGO, but, you know, he had a good few maps.
Yeah.
Look, maybe something to be made of this one, but Summer's Mac 10 has been overrun. That's where Kaze is supposed to come into play. The Galils are good at dealing with this kind of buy, and that's exactly what they do. MHL adding a bit more damage to the fray, but the grenade from somebody will finish things off. They keep 3 alive. Rare Adam very content with how this round has gone, and Talon will still be unable to buy an op.
I mean, all things considered, they'll still very uncomfortable there for Rare Adam. I'm surprised as soon as, you know, the Mac 10 leads and they see as many numbers as they do at B, that I know Rare Adam were pretty close to those B steps as well, but the fact they all swung, that could have been terrible.
Could have been worse if only half of them swung, that's the thing. Yeah. So, you know what, appreciate the consistency.
There's another one of those mirror calls, but this time it's much further away from the site itself.
He's gonna have his position revealed. They're ready for this. Hazard takes him down. His footstool still around is Summer, but he is all alone. If he gives up his life, that'll be middle gone, and rotations made easy. Hazard doesn't need those rotations. Good for the first. Still waiting for somebody to come through and give him the swing. In the meanwhile, Hazard falls, but MHL will compensate nonetheless. Offensive utility present for Azar. If he deploys it, then Kaze will feel incredibly uncomfortable deploying the bomb down, but will be allowed to dial in those digits as he moves back. 2 versus 4, and they're still afraid about what Summer could be doing in the middle. Of course, that's his last known position. But instead, it's fighting from inside the site with Kaze. MHL brought down low. Summer spots out the one. Freebie found. Summer has to make it quick, but it can't be crisp. It's only one left. Netic saves the day, but boy, was it long.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have kits, so they had to try and trade successfully. And all that damage that Kaze found at the start of that retake attempt from Talon actually almost allowed Summer to clutch again. I mean, it is so damn close. But these rounds can be troublesome, they can be turbulent. But so long as you get them on the board, that is all that really matters. Talon get another one past the pistol round, but it does come at a heavy cost.
Good thing for Adam is they only lost 2 players in that previous round, so they should be able to buy up as well. None of those potential D-side problems that come up when you've walked into a 5-man CT side stack and lost 4 players.
Yeah, DJL expressing some words to this Talon group. When they pick into this Vertigo with expectations. Right now, those expectations currently not being met. I mean, double-digit scoreline here for Rare Adam, but there are ways that Talon can maybe find the right approach, a gap in the T-side default that they could use to their benefit. Rushing down towards the entry to ramp, but the one on Rare Adam is actually challenging around the back of it. So it's a lot of utility, a lot of shots fired downrange there for Talon with very little information gained. And you see after that progression, I mean, they pulled some rotates away. Netic and Azar are challenging around these smokes. Flash through, Child King, and offering, and a headshot found as well. Azar will not stick around to see if he can find that trade. He knows that he's that last bastion that stops them from taking this A bomb site, and Addict has the prospect of a flank.
So does MHL. This is scary. They could end up going back towards B. The bomb's been dropped. Summer has as well. What was a done deal ends up being overthinking from Rare Adam that has lost them every advantage they had. No longer with the bomb, no longer with the time, no longer with the numbers, and definitely not with the positioning.
Yeah, I mean, they thought they just reinforced traditionally, but there's a push, double push through mid, and they take different routes, but MHL's at the forefront of that action. I mean, there's just not enough time to play it as slow as this. If Rare Adam really wanted to contest, they would be making noise, they would be making sound cues. They have decided that this round just blew up and fizzled up before their eyes, and so they will save.
That's insane. I mean, you know, where you're mentioning that Talon aren't able to get too much information out towards A. They send these 2 players consistently probing forward, and MHL and Addict out through middle instead. MHL even finds the AWP in the end, by the way. That's huge.
Yeah,
They'll get that one for free.
Child King died after time to a Molotov as well, so his money is very, very bad.
Whatever DJL said, it worked. And he didn't even give him the old Cody Cos approved clap, clap, clap.
Might be clapping in rhythm. Some coaches beatbox. DJL doesn't have time to drop beats.
The only DJ in him is his name, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah. I'd love to know if he DJs at all, actually. You know, I feel like that'd be cool lore to add to his already impressive resume.
It's true. He wants an Australian team being taken to the major in his resume, though.
No Oceania team.
Yes, that's true. My bad.
Too.
And a pull.
Yeah.
Don't be so dismissive.
Because I know I have a bad habit of doing that too. I see roughly the Australian flag and I'm like, yep, Australian. And it's like, New Zealand exists. And they're present in the server. First step to bridging that gap once again, but Rare Atom do still have their hands on rifles. They just have limited resources. Talon fell into this problem once upon a time too, but Rare Atom will not fall victim to the timer. They try and take that space. Child King loses his life, but there's a gap in middle, but MHL's AWP is there to plug that, no problems. Even reinforcements being applied from the B side as well, so Li Hang can't really get much accomplished with his position. This is ending up to be kind of a non-starter round. It's not really building in any significant way in favor of Rare Atom, and given the limited time again, unless he makes a drastic move and finds a pick, Rare Atom could just save again, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Kazi getting the kill doesn't really help his case. He's going forward. The bomb is going to be so far off. There's 18 seconds. There's 3 people effectively behind that generator. If the bomb gets planted, that'll be a miracle. But no, maybe the miracle is here. Their hands together, they pray. But it's Kazi who sprays. He taps. He shoots. They're all falling down. Kazi gets the ace to save it all right here, right now.
How on earth has he done that? He's on 20 health the entire time. And when they tap that bomb, Talon want to flood it. They want to stop that plant. They knew they had numbers to play off of, but they didn't expect both heads to be ripped clean by Kaze immediately. They couldn't cancel that plant. Every time they face Kaze, it's just another between the eyes. That's the AWPer of Rare Atom.
Kaze wants that major.
It's a 20-kill Kaze on map 1. Here to qualify to Shanghai, and now they just brute force the approach on A. They run Talon over. And it was a low investment, maybe even an absence of such. But if that Kaze ace doesn't get you fired up, you know, all guns are blazing now here for Rare Atom. Talon have some hard decisions to make as they try and claw to an overtime.
I don't know what you say. Internally, I don't know what the call has to be. No AWP out for MHL. Nothing of the sort. Provide that big old stopping power. Mid setup has been enabled despite the incendiaries out. Li Hang will be able to get boosted up top. Not taken down either.
Somebody trying to force the fight, and he reads it wrong. Hazard does not play close to the gen. Tried to fall back into spawn, wait for reinforcements. Kaze has that bomb on his back, but drops it for someone else to do the dirty work. Well, Kaze tries to get his hands dirty. Gap in the smoke. Barrel spotted. Knows MHL's on that high ground, but he just cannot convert. It's decent damage by Hazard in support. Kaze cannot continue to run interference, but he did secure enough room for this plant.
And reloads galore. Chalking, even thinking about getting ahead of the smoke. As his numbers whittle down, he feels desperation. Talon, they just want to play it patient. Last time over, it didn't work out too well, rushing down the Chinese side, and maybe this time they'll see some of the same. Kaze, similar position, but with the smoke blocking him off, it doesn't make it any more easy. Kits on there, Kits on there, they've won it!
Got the kill!
They've taken it away! You can't get the defuse in time. Talon will lose once again at the hands of the Malaysian AWPer turned rifling god.
Absolutely miraculous stuff from Kaze. I mean, I am talking pure miracle moments where he has just honed in either found instant headshots or
muscles.
yeah, they're the wild card, I think, for this event. You know, just in general, you don't kind of know which style of Counter-Strike they're gonna play. Are they gonna disrespect smokes like they did against the Mongols? You know, that they are a pick-a-mix, a variety bag. You are going to be either pleasantly surprised or be oddly disappointed at what you pull from it. But there's a lot of contenders in that lower bracket already that could be as deserving as Talon to make it to the Shanghai opening stage. But Rare Atom do come into the second map with a map to the good. They only need convert their own selection in the series. It is Inferno as our second, and Talon want to avoid that lower bracket. We need to see a resurgence from this Oceanic mix plus MHL. And MHL will get the ball rolling at the start of this pistol. CT defense is where Talon will try and make their mark, and it's both the important pieces finding activating kills.
Flashbang forward, MHL peeks out into a fully blinded Lihang, but doesn't want to contend with a Birthfire Glock. Summer will fall, and Lihang follows through. So this is where they did have some of their struggles, and Talon and Child King is left alone. 1 versus 5. Can we see another ace? Of course not. But this is where Talon sometimes have their struggles, you know, fighting out towards brackets. Vexite very often was the one to exploit them on that CT side. And it's good to see them get off to a great start on the same respect.
I mean, just nice smooth kills for MHL and Evan. Even though it gets a little turbulent, you know, a couple chances there for Child King to use that CT economy. Didn't fall too far out of their graces. I mean, it's now the force buy here by Rare Atom. Tech 9s and a decent amount of utility. Do you find it curious? Not a single Deagle enthusiast on the side of Rare Atom. There are some teams and players. Yeah, I mean, it definitely serves them good. You know, they play with pace. But there are so often teams where the star player is so clearly defined, and, you know, the Deagle probably better suited in their hands.
It's one of the things that I've always felt like, if I see a team going for Tech 9s and utility in their force spy, I'm like, okay, this is a team that's clearly practiced force spies. Deagles are much more, hey, let's see what we can find. But Rare Atom practice might make perfect, but you still have to overcome a lot. On the other side, it's sure SMGs, but SMGs can be pretty scary. Flashes galore out from Chimney. Somebody will still have to face into an Addict who is very prepared. MHL loses his life. Addict pushes into the smoke, right back out of it with a double kill. Can't take down his primary target. Somebody will trade it away, but still a 2 versus 3. Talon in the lead. Hazard and Hazard will be the likely prospects to charge forward with the MP9. Netix Farmers will be hoping to train. Kaze cannot recover a weapon. They're going into the smoke. They've taken so much damage. Somebody will look to finish them off. Kaze's Farmer strikes in one more time.
I mean, that was perfect. Smoke down towards Moto, and the fact that refreshed, Talon did not have the extra time to spare on that retake. So they barrel straight through it, and that's where somebody had played close enough to that smoke. And to be honest, I mean, he was kind of the one set up for all those 3 kills. Instead, it's Kaze that is able to collect on the double. That's another breaker round there for Talon, where they win the CT pistol and they lose the onslaught afterwards in the following force buy. Coming in the second half of Vertigo, and it plays here now too. Force buy for them. Child King will be relatively unscathed in his kill to Netic. Trying to reaggress, and Child King pounces on the opportunity.
Well,
just lapping them up.
There you go. Isn't that just what you want to see on an anti-force spy?
That's what Talon would have liked to have seen, that's for sure. But it has not been so kind to them. God, I mean, if I think this is the problem. I mean, we talk about it pretty consistently, but for those that may be interested in, you know, the emergence of the major for the Perfect World Shanghai, or just a curiosity to see a team like TALON in the mix, you know, winning CT side pistol and then losing the subsequent round is about the worst way you can start on a defensive half. You lose out on the loss bonus, I guess, booster that you get from losing the pistol. You know, you move one stage up further than you would typically, and so a lot of teams will feel like they kind of have to force buy in response, given that you're on 1400 loss bonus. And then if you get nothing from it, you just end up in a bit of a rut where, you know, there are effectively 2 rounds that can be dismissed if your force buy that isn't, I guess, up to snuff.
Yeah, getting force bought is it's a bad time.
It's a great building block as well for T-sides to build some early distance and honestly build up a buffer for when rifles do come out on that defense.
Not to mention, more than that, whenever you're in this 2-1 situation, very often you're going to see this many USBs come out. The MAC-10 just feast. And that's exactly what they will be looking to do over here. Still, at the same time, let's not forget, this is a buy with some teeth, but those teeth have now been plucked out. Turns out there's dentists on the rear Adam side, and they are expensive. That's what the MAC-10 comes in for. Pay those bills, damn it.
Man, Chongqing just felt like he was in the way, or someone was in his way. He blocked the smoke at the entrance to Banana, and then he gets these 2 kills, and he's trying to reload retreat, and, you know, Summer also wanted to swing out and feast with the MAC-10, and it kind of got Chongqing killed, so...
Nedic's trying to show off his swag. That tiny little CT was your only friend there, Nedic. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's not going to help you get more headshots. The dink is nice, but Adam still keep 4 alive, and the only one they lose is the MAC-10.
This is the thing, if the game plan heavily revolves at any point that Kaze should have an AWP, they can have that discussion. They can even go for it if they so please. But given the economy for TALON, it could also prove to be a liability if Rare Adam don't win the round, and then suddenly they can retrieve it all off of their corpses. So they will not take that plunge. They will keep everything that they have in their hands. And TALON going in with a probably identical amount of weaponry. SMG still frenetic. Somebody's very quick to scale into the apartments. The Molotov, or smoke actually, a little late, but the damage is good onto somebody.
MHL's backing away. Summer's just accelerating forward. The flashbang will not really give MHL too much space to try and locate anyone, but look at the rotates backwards. Azir will receive Child King, and there's 4 CT players here on the A-bomb side. Rare Adam are in for a rude awakening should they move forward, and even if they don't, Azir's peeking out. Damage there, but not the kill. That's what Azir is here for. Where one Azir fails, just add an H and another one can succeed.
Well, the Counter-Strike were so simple. All these players just tagged so low. Kaze somehow able to weasel out a kill. Does eventually get dispatched of, and Lihang getting a counter onto Hazard. Addict is playing around the edge of that smoke, but there's no serious commitment. This deep angle from Nedic, given the low health, this SMG is absolutely lethal. High mobility, Nedic can get out of there all the same. But they are heavily segmented, they are split, and there is a timing that Lihang's hoping to hit in towards long. That smoke just masking his presence. The timing could not have worked any worse, but Addict is very suspicious.
He might be suspicious, but he can't do anything about the bomb being planted. There's a Molotov here for Lihang as well. Addict now, position revealed. The molly goes the wrong way. The bomb's being dialed in. Addict worried about a quick duel being taken forward. Lihang now it just has to play out the 1v2. Both players coming in from short. Lihang, an angle where he will be allowed to reface, but that's only if Addict doesn't take his time and pull out the Molotov. Addict, first contact, will not be given an opportunity to do so, has to do it with gunpowder instead, and that's exactly what they'll find. Talon, get the second.
Yeah, I mean, the post-plant position there, I mean, Lihang was so low health, he had to try and play one of these headshot angles, something that could given him an edge, and you know, the angle he chooses is not exactly conducive to dealing with multiple players up short. If there had been some presence in the apartments, had he been able to read a slower approach from Talon, that could have worked to his favor, but yeah, that clutch was incredibly trying, unless he took a risk towards long somehow, but again, a bit of a gamble. So it's a nice effort. He got the bomb plant down, so again, still more money being injected into the coffers of Rare Adam, even though they had a decent amount of funds built up for this reinvestment. It's a beautiful
That's a nice way to start.
Kill.
Yeah. Even better response. Kaze finds Nadek as he's trying to fade away. If this is going to be a faster B-side execute, it's still going to be finding 2 players. Great grenade. A lot of Talon's strengths yesterday on Inferno came down to good late round movements, not over-rotating, very often having the right numbers at the right place. Rare Adam have shown a propensity to go slightly sooner, though. I don't know if the late round will be as relevant over here.
Nice silent descent there from Addict. Had he given over a sound cue, somebody would have almost certainly tried to hound him down. But it's set up for an apps burst. And someone could get caught with nades out if he's not too careful. Yeah, starts deploying those flashes, so they know exactly what the call is here from Rare Adam, and they have full control of brackets.
Flash overhead. Addict wants to stop the crossover, dodging flashes that are popping behind him. It's Lihang to punish. MHL does get one in return, and there's a push being planned out by Azar. He wants to go forward, waiting for Hazard's incendiary to be deployed, and that's exactly the cue he will take. Azar gets one for free, swings out for a second, and he will collect. Talon equalize.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great decision being made there from Talon. You know, not prioritizing, especially with one player towards long, one inside of the balcony of the apartments. They're very segmented. There's no way they can sort of link up and support each other. And so what do? They slink together and actually find this great timing in middle where they can play for an after-plant scenario where they know Rare Adam will have very limited options to escape. So they get completely trapped inside of the bomb site as they get that bomb down. But Talon were very organized about their approach. It is well read by the O squad. For Adam now, those coffers are waiting. Still 4 rifles and some util to run map control. Azar almost getting caught with a nade out. A lot of damage, but he's still afloat.
I thought MHL was going to hit that. Flashbang, dodge, Netic, ready, boost, prepped. Hikaze completely caught off guard. Priceless.
Yeah, just didn't clear for it. I mean, didn't consider that Netic would be playing a close range angle like that. And not something we really saw him do against FlyQuest all too often. You know, frequently was trying to take fights and hit spam timings. And talk about spam, that's right on the mark there from Liang, just as the smoke blooms. There's a small gap for somebody to keep information on any progress, any extra rotates here for the CTs.
That's a great grenade, though. 2 players inside the bomb site, no one in pit. Somebody scaling up is worried about the ladder, and not the former. Addict doubles up, wants to swing, but nowhere to swing to. 2 versus 2. Talon in these retakes of the A site have been incredible, but with an AWP, will be slightly more difficult to find anything of the sort. Flashbang, unsuccessful. Incendiary to the back of the bomb site, starts to burn up Child King, but that is a CT incendiary. He can just reposition very easily, so not too much damage either. The grenade is critical, but so is Lihang. MHL has only 1 place to go. It's back home. Needs to go to CT spawn. There is no way to win this round with an AWP, and Child King shows us just that.
Yeah, I mean, the immediate fiending, but, I mean, they had a flash lined up. That's what Lihang was turning for before MHL decided to swing. They had a couple of plans lined up, but the contingency plan was always that they simply trade that all. They start off with a deficit. The fact that Lihang was able to get a clear kill through that smoke just as it popped. It's really well done. You know, it's another one of these moments where Adam have... I mean, they frequently had to fight from behind on Vertigo. They're finding the same success here. Good util. Hazard able to segment Banana, but he gets his one and does get traded. Trying to be tricky,
Charlking's lost.
Yeah, Talon are very aware of the possibility of him creeping that smoke ahead of the molly.
I don't know how he lives there. Well, gets away to safety. Yeah, okay, we are seeing the stack back over towards the ace. I was about to say, I am surprised that Talon hasn't prioritized more numbers in a single area with the way this buy is looking.
Yeah.
And they'll pick the incorrect site, but at least they can save.
The thing is, they pick the incorrect site, but they're hunting for information. You know, this round could definitely still be on if they clear out middle and find out that it is likely to be a B-side finish. I mean, they hear the util blooming at B, and so they'll have a fast flank timing, and if it's not considered quick enough by Rare Atom, then they should get very hairy very quickly.
Charlking turns around to throw that flashbang. There's an AK recoverable over here as well. And as the scale up comes through, Charlking takes a more passive angle, spots out the one, should be overrun, misses the second shot. And now with the bomb going down, Addict late to the party, no utility to be picked up, so they have to go through the smokes dry, and that's a bit too much to ask for, especially when they could be saving an AWP.
Yeah, I mean, even before that smoke bloomed, I think there was a good argument to be made about whether or not they just grabbed that AWP, given that it was undefended there from Rare Atom. It was left to its own devices at the top of Banana. I mean, they could have tried for it, but they didn't have kits. They have barely the util to flush out all these deeper angles in the B bomb site. This is definitely the smarter approach, if not a little boring, I suppose. But Talon understand that economy is the main thing that has kept them out of some of these rounds. So a free AWP is always nice to find.
Hopefully the AWP doesn't stay free. Hopefully MHL can make it expensive for Rare Atom over here as well. This is very similar to the start we saw on Vertigo. 5-3 before Rare Atom felt like they ran away with it. A chance for Talon to fight back, but not with proper money behind it. It is still not around to be discounted. MHL getting aggressive out towards that B-bomb site. Dodges the initial utility. Scope forward, waiting for Charlking to make a move. Reveals his position and fades away.
How brave is Charlking feeling? Because if he actually starts to clear things out towards B in any capacity, I mean, this could be a free bomb site for the taking. Talon show that appearance of the AWP towards Banana and immediately rotate everyone in support of A. This will again be another great decision here from Rare Atom to dodge a stack if they continue on the path that they're carving out.
Yeah, Summer is just in Azur's head right now.
Felt like they were both kind of in each other's heads on Vertigo, so that weirdly doesn't surprise me.
Only one of them chose to vacate. The other's still trying to skirt tenancy laws. That's a comfortable casualty. Don't really mind losing him nor Hazard. Hell, even Hazard. Don't feel the worst. And it gets a quick kill. They will be recovering that Galil, forcing the T's to fight further if they would like to try and take it back. T-side money isn't really settled so far either, so any kills that Talon are able to find, presuming that they can save the AWP, will actually be pretty consequential. Lee Hang tagged up by that very AWP, and in the meanwhile, that's where Hazard comes in to finish them off. Hazard could do more damage as well if he chases after them in Banana, but they've instead been distracted by the Charlking. Where Atom contained their losses.
But the buy will be significant here from Talon. I mean, 6 rounds on the T side of Inferno is enough. You would certainly want more, given that you still have 3 more rounds of play in the half. But even if Talon are able to come back and bring this to a 6-6 scoreline, it's not as though either team would be, I guess, clear of the woods just yet. But I think with the the decisions that Rare Atom have been making, and the inability to find any major multi-kill, outside of a couple instances where, on that A-bomb site, we've seen a pretty solid defense. Where are these stars that we've touted so much about, whether it's MHL or Netic? Both these guys are massive instigators, multi-kill machines. When they were playing in some of these officials in EU, I think there was a propensity to, re-peaking and over-peaking maybe for MHL, but he's clearly reined that in. He's picking his fights a bit more sparsely.
Well, that's a great fight for him to take. Addict backs off. Oh, they completely concede apartments afterwards. They're not ready for another. MHL, there's that re-peak, but it's false information. And that false flag could come back to bite them. Smoke forward. It is MHL to continue watching out. Addict will collect on Summer. Refacing back out is dangerous for him. That's exactly what he does. A flashbang would go a long way, but there's not one to be thrown. Hazard doesn't feel comfortable revealing the fact that he started to rotate. All of the CTs will be here at this A site where Adam still have a world where they re-navigate to B, but not anymore. The bomb's been dropped. It's Child King to concede it with his life.
Loving the choices here from Talon. I mean, even in some of the lower buy rounds, they've decided to just totally cede that B bomb site, and it can come back to bite you, but especially with all the utility, the confirmation of players over towards A, they just move to reinforce and flood with numbers, and they do so with great effectiveness here. I think Rare Atom were a bit one toe in, rest of the foot out about whether or not they continue with the A side siege, especially when they couldn't tie down MHL after he kept challenging from the balcony. Had that extra reinforcements not arrived, I think it's very likely the A defenders just have to kind of play a more passive game, but because they knew they had that safety net behind them, they could take those challenges. They're rewarded for that risk.
Gotta say, I'm really enjoying the Addict MHL show on the A side in general. Great coordination between them as well. And sure, they've been overrun a few times, but that's not to say that you don't see the system in place. Yesterday, so much of what Talon's success was, sort of what Netic found over towards the B-bomb side. Hazard as well, having his big moments. Rare Atom, though, it's a weaker buy, and it might be an accelerated schedule for them. Nades to their bums is not going to be helping. Netic lies in wait. If he wanted the spotlight, he's about to have it. Oh my goodness, a missed shot.
I mean, it's a leg. He's down to 16 HP. Netic is not healthy, but neither is Kaze. It's a pretty much equal damage exchange.
Oh my goodness, the nades are making it a little bit less equal.
Yeah, I mean, the util has taken Child King down to 3 HP.
Where do you go? What do you do? I'm not even joking. If they lose a player, Rare Atom might want to save here. They don't have money. If they lose a player fast enough, that is to say. But once the train to B begins, there really aren't many breaks on it. So if you want to make that decision, make it now. The smoke dissipates at that 30-second mark. It's a bit late to go through, but at least it will not be reinforced. MHL's rotation still far off. Re-smoke, my god.
Yeah,
they had to go through. But they found the kill. Lihan good for one. Crosses over as well. Azure forced to reload as he can't find any of the low players on the spray down across the smoke. He's still hunting. He's still searching. But advantage Rare Atom.
That couldn't have worked better. I mean, that smoke hadn't bloomed as of yet. Still util in the hands of Hazard. And now for this retake, sure, they've got kits available, but all they've got is flashes to section off this site, somehow break back in. And you can see those Talon members starting to draw back away from this B-side retake. They are calling it quits. This is a 7th round here for Rare Atom, all off the back of a brave Li Hang entry.
And Michael, I mentioned it yesterday, funnily enough, in the GR game, that I thought Talon on their CT sides might be prone to getting caught out with utility in their hands. I didn't think it would be happening over here, but where else for it to happen? This is always the problem of having, such good conservation of utility on that B bomb side. You just kind of want to have that incendiary in your hand, just kind of want to make it more difficult for the T side. You're just thinking, wow, I bet they'd hate to run through this Molotov, and you're right. And that's why they'll run through the smoke before you deploy it. Fantastic kill from Lee Hang.
It is absolutely, I mean, it's picture perfect. And it came at a time where Azur actually couldn't help him out. The smoke that bloomed is far too disruptive. Pretty much the only real saving grace in that round. It wasn't building great for Rare Atom. Nedic is tired of these shenanigans over at B. Just asserts himself down the bottom of it. A nade to blow open the bottom side of the smoke, and Nedic won't stick around to at least consider those close-range fights. But after showing that aggressive stance, Talon once again are reinforcing the A play, just leaving MHL to section off B with the AWP. I think this looks to be an incredibly strong decision here by Talon. But Nedic's starting to make his move back as well. I mean, some util thrown by Rare Atom at the mouth of B, or Banana rather. MHL will deal with one of those troublesome players, but now that MHL has found that kill, it may actually keep Nedic nearby as a Molotov to try and disrupt any execute that Rare Atom have planned. Oh, well, the hit's happening, though.
Addict is more than happy to take these nades. This utility, he's going to be able to find at least one. You'd think maybe more. While Blind can't put the spray together, Rare Atom will have to be content with 7, though. Talon, another great hold on that A-bomb site.
Yeah, and a decent read on the situation. I mean, a very slow approach from Rare Atom. Maybe expecting something a bit more aggressive, especially with how Nedic was posturing at the start of that round, but it doesn't continue with aggression on aggression. It's show that deep presence, immediate rotations, and so Rare Atom have a bit of a misread on how how Talon, are going to approach that round on their defense, especially as they're entering the end of the half, where they kind of desperately needed that 5th round to feel confident going into their own T side. So it is a clever call at the end of the half. But now they're going to have to put things together on the offense, where Rare Atom, I think, have shown and expressed a bit of that individual star power throughout this series. And maybe not the same explosive performances, but Lee Hang is someone that is newer to this kind of a level, and may not always have been in, I guess, star or spotlight positions on his previous teams, but has been consistent on both the maps in the series so far.
Kaze would like a highlight, and he will at least find a headshot. Let's see if it can be completed into something more. 3 players going in from apartments. The Snake will not have too much of a tail, though. It is very far off for Azur. Great flashbang out, but an even better shot. Somebody doubles up. Azur's response seems futile. Azur coming back into the bomb site. Summer just strafes out with the USB, evades capture, and takes down Azur and Azur.
Yeah, someone didn't even kill that guy inside of the site. He had that kill nabbed by somebody, but able to get his hands on the kill in the apartments. A bit of run and gun action here for Rare Atom. They're the ones kind of aggressing into Talon just as they're making their moves either towards Banana or the A-bomb site. Just no fear in the eyes of Rare Atom. They wanted that pistol over and done with, and they disrupted Talon before they could get all of their resources in the right place. And this time Talon will not commit to the force buy. A 7-5 kind of game. You do want your hands on weaponry as fast as possible, but this is also a map where you kind of need the resources to take over Banana, brackets, flash players out of apps or past boiler. They decide to kind of shortchange themselves on the utility end, or they shortchange themselves weaponry-wise to compensate. Unless they somehow win on Glocks, in which case, you know.
Yeah, you never know about that, right?
All of that goes out the window.
Well, I don't think this window is open right now, so you should be pretty comfortable. Child King, as he is fading backwards, has got Kaze to cover off his behind as well. And yeah, easy does it. Pretty much no casualties at all for Rare Atom. Lots of money made as well. 3 kills for Kaze, so if he wants to bring out the early AWP, he'll have that option. And to be honest, on 9 rounds, I would actually really like to see that early op coming out. I know normally you treat this as a bit of a bonus round, but also at the same time, it could just be the closer. You get this one, Talon's going to be on poor money. Realistically, you're looking at 11, and a 6-round lead feels like too much to give up.
On the inverse, by not investing in the AWP now, you all still have money for a full investment in the following round, and you can still get the AWP out, so... kind of made enough money where that's the justification. They will continue with this bonus round. Lihang trying to take the fights towards the bottom of B, but Netic already made his way past his vision. And the damage is good. It's significant onto Azur, but he survives on 1 HP. Both him and MHL within an inch of their life. But it is a man advantage by Talon.
Watch out for Kaze. He's thinking about getting aggressive into apartments. Should Addict fall, this entire offense falls apart. He is the linchpin. He has to let the rest of his teammates connect with him before contact is made, and he's done a good job of avoiding it. Now Kaze knows what's coming over. A flashbang to try and delay, a grenade still in his back pocket that could do a lot. Just let me remind you, someone's got the freebie. At least the first one. There's still another one roaming around. MHL hoping he can be a bit more deadly. Time's ticking down low, and Talon is running out of opportunities. What are they going to choose? It is MHL to find the first. He collects very quickly, and suddenly this A site feels a bit less protected. Kaze almost finding an opportunity to pick up more, but the healthy player is too much for him to chew off and get another.
Bomb has been planted.
MHL has to be the one that serves to support. Has kind of missed the timing. Child King's already closer than he anticipates. Up close. A chance there for MHL, but can't quite control it. It's Child King from a 1 versus 2, now 1-on-1. Addict at the back of the bomb site. Headshot offered up. A chance. The elevation there from Child King, and Addict jumps atop the box, and that will serve well to Child King. He will have this defuse, the clutch on top. And Rare Atom find themselves double the score of Talon, even with MHL getting 2 kills on his low HP. It is not enough to find the round in its entirety.
What more could you ask for? Netic gets a kill while fully blind, swinging out. Sure, he gets traded away. Azek gets a trade, but he's also been dinked down first. It's everything you could ask for when MHL also shows up somehow with 2. But at the end of it all, Child King, 3 HP, that's all he needed. Talon counter out with a half-fight. They have a game plan. It is back to Banana, back to B they go. Acceleration, the only hope that they really have with this buy, and that acceleration will give them nothing initially. It was a buy not too different that gave them the win up against FlyQuest yesterday, finding that initial kill onto Dexter, although I think that was even more sparsely populated with armor and weaponry. Kaze's up.
Adam.
He's ready. But then to start swinging out. MHL good for the one. Kaze misses out on a second opportunity. Still swinging, still fighting. It's a lost fight. And will Talon be doing it again? Will they have found a pathway back into this game off the back of a half-buy?
It is certainly seeming that way, unless Child King has another clutch in him. Had a 1-on-2 before, now 1-on-4, and Netic able to take the AWP out of the hands of Azur after it had fallen from Kaze's. It is another half buy here for Talon. They just break into that A bomb site. And the reason I thought that was a dangerous move for Adam, they're one dry contacting down the bottom of Banana. They're trying to hunt for that information, but Kaze inside of this pit, you can see the vulnerabilities that are opened up by a swarm out of the apartments. If you're unable to get enough support from your sight riflers, that AWP is a sitting duck. It cannot fire fast enough to deal with the numbers. For Adam, we're too disconnected from one another, and Talon fully exploited that with their heavy swarming.
Oh my. Addict is in for a good time over here. A freebie found, makes it look easy. Trade from the farmer, so Summer swings out wide, never one shy of doing just that.
That's going to be such a nuisance for Talon. I mean, you kind of needed this follow-up kill onto Summer because now they have to worry about being contained from the apartments, you know, possible flanks from the underpass, the possibility of him even making it into T-spawn. These are all things that Summer could have done instead of just simply falling back. And so they'll push forward, maybe serve to try and bypass him in some capacity, but Kaze is here at long to greet them.
This time it's not going to be too good for him. No, what? Kaze gets Azur as well. I can't believe it. I thought he would be caught off trying to move back, and now Summer caught trying to move in. MHL's AWP shows itself off with a shadow, but MHL's speed is what gives him the dual win. Talon once again scale onto the A-bomb site, and they're going to take this one to 7.
And if they had never seen that nameplate, if they couldn't have found Summer, they would have been conscious of the possibility of you know, flanks and all these different opportunities that Summer could have gone for instead. But once they deal with that, they're more confident in proceeding with the A-bomb site, and they have picked correctly. No one on Rare Atom could have cheated over quite quick enough. So a dangerous round, but one in which Talon make a good counteraction. You know, they don't sit by and think, oh no, we're boxed in, we have to proceed with the B play. Instead, they go back to address it, and they're rewarded for that risk. Will be saved over here by Rare Atom. No chance for Talon to hound them down, nor much interest. They find themselves trailing. Their money is as important, if not more so.
You're right, if Summer had just been able to stay alive, if anyone else had died in this place, it could have been a very different round. Even so, not to say that Talon couldn't have taken it away regardless. And Rare Atom money has been pushed down to pretty much nothing. If Talon avoid this one trap, it's basically a gun round that separates them from equalizing. Molotovs, flashes, the full works thrown out, and it is Netic to take advantage of them. It's a quieter game for him so far, but he's brought himself back up to even 10 and 10, and his banana efforts have not gone unnoticed.
Well, there's 3 players to try and protect this rifle. Somebody is standing stalwart with that one weapon. There will be chances for him to be able to perform. I mean, fresh smoke that's down. It is a tall one. A flash was lined up, but a second one is primed here for Summer. Azur should get caught by this if they're not too careful. Yeah, but Azur does retreat around the corner in time. Chalking will try and hound him down, and while somebody does get that frag, it pulls all the attention of the remaining Rare Atom members, and that's all the info that Talon needed. Bomb will be planted at A, and this round will be a done deal.
It's a nice setup from Rare Atom,
yeah,
but even better play from Azur right there. I mean, Azur starts to move forward, spots out the first player inside the B bomb site, moves back, anticipates that, hey, there could be a response over here. If there's going to be a stack that's likely facilitated by something, you know, maybe a flashbang, anything like it, gets flashed. fades away, stops the push from coming in and overrunning him in a way where maybe, you know, if they have 2 rifles and a USB, things can get dangerous. If you're leaving someone behind to safeguard, they fall as well. A lot of damage to be dealt, but instead Talon contain.
Yeah, and the players that threw the utility over at B were already starting to slink away from Banana, so it's not as though that wasn't kind of a part of the plan anyway, but yeah, Azur played positionally very well in that circumstance. I think there was more of a justification for Talon to hunt aggressively when they have a bit of a buffer now built in their economy. They had a lot of numbers up as well, and you know there was the possibility of taking away the prospects of, you know, full rifles for the Rare Atom squad. They might have had to make a couple consolations just so they could have full utility to stop some of these more aggressive plays.
The triple high five. Some believe that Goku's Spirit Bomb can only be replaced by the triple five. Let's find out. Azur, you got a world-saving big old ball of energy inside you?
I know, but he looks like a ball of joy.
He does. And he would have even more joy if they can come closer to equalizing. This round could be the difference maker. No AWP out for Rare Atom. Kaze will have to go dry, not just in the AWP department, but also in utility. Nades are very well placed as there's a dead man walking.
Yeah, I won't be smiling about that. I mean, it's just a perfect nade stack. I mean, to open the round in this manner and to lose out on a player, hell, Nedic, your, I guess, ability to control the banana will be somewhat hindered by also now being in one-shot headshot territory for these M4s. So we'll definitely slow Talon down. I mean, they're ground to a halt. Waiting to see if Rare Atom are still fiending for that information or not. Addicts will be put on notice. He's trying to find a timing, some way to organize into a level of a B split, but broke down at long, a chance to clear it, but Kaze deals with him, and so now it's a one-pronged assault here for Talon.
Incendiary flashbang combo is going to be devastating to this push out. Somebody needs to deploy it, will do so, but Talon yet to pull the trigger. Wait for Li Hang to peek out. Li Hang taken down. Somebody repositions. He's got backup coming in. Kaze trying to avoid flashes of his teammates and opponents at the same time. MHL will shut down just the one, but now he's got 3 more. And he can't even get a single. Somebody's quad kill takes Rare Atom to 11 after an early nade stack forced Talon down.
Yeah, I mean, that was beautiful stuff. The flash, I mean, even the fact that he held his molly for that extra second. Sure, he loses his teammate inside the site, but he also recognizes that him fighting is kind of the worst thing that he could do in that instance when he's got teammates en route with util to boot. So he waited for those flashes, and while not everyone was fully caught by it, you know, MHL was blinded, Hazard was blinded, and those were the important ones. Even though MHL still hit his shot while blind, somebody's able to collect on all those kills. It still claps for DJL, but
yeah,
it is, I mean, that round blew up very quickly, and quite literally for Azur.
And it would be maybe a little bit ironic if that's how Talon end up losing the momentum, because that's, I mean, they blew up their opponent IGL yesterday on Inferno and Banana. That's how they got the momentum back in their favor. Rare Atom now giving a maybe a bit of that same medicine over. Talon still have a chance to fight back. They have a good buy. But that gap seems a bit more daunting now.
Now, even if to fight off match and series point, they'll be able to muster together a few rifles at the very least, but you need a haymaker, an uppercut, something that can bring you back into the fight. Good blow in the smoke. Li Hang trying to be aggressive. There's damage done to somebody. All the meanwhile, Li Hang is incredibly disruptive, but he's eventually found through those smokes. I mean, the damage has been accomplished here by Rare Atom, but they lose a body for it.
Well, Azur doesn't feel too happy.
He got spammed through smoke and then naded.
And while Addict tries to get a bit more real estate out towards apartments. He gets taken down by a stray Kaze P. Child King taking a position where Kaze found success in the previous round, and he's found 2 players moving through the smoke. Everything breaking apart for Talon right now.
And they're trying to find a gap. Trying to take that risk, and when they are going for it, it's not like they're not being given the prospect of those chances. They are identifying a possible weak point, but then you're getting a quick deliverance of a headshot from anyone nearby. I mean, Rare Atom have been on point this series. Talon have shown an ability to shoot just as hard, if not harder in some instances, but there have been some great calls, some great decisions, some quick builds on crossfires. This is a well-rehearsed looking Rare Atom coming into this matchup, and Talon will now need 4 rounds straight where these have been fleeting in the second half.
And it's not like these are situations like what we had in Vertigo, where Rare Atom are winning disadvantaged positions, they're winning out clutches. It's really not. What do you look towards? Who do you look to? Quiet consistency, like I said, is not what you need. You need explosive firepower, and ordinarily MHL is the one to provide. But on this T side, on the rifle, a role that he will take, but not always willingly so.
You can see this is still a fairly strong buy for Talon. Only one that's really shortchanged is Addict. You know, Nedic's on a Galil, but this is enough to win you rounds. But Talon have to be able to make the right call. They have to be able to dodge that open Kaze. Cannot give him an easy fight. But they also have to just not lose a player at the start of the round in Banana. 2 rounds back-to-back where the util has been the undoing of at least one player.
For Rare Atom, it is 1 round before they are at the major confirmed. A journey 5 years for Kaze, 3 for Somebody and Summer, and forever for Lihang and Child King, but it is a journey for which they still need one more step. Talon's A-side assault will meet fierce resistance. And they realize it as well. They've slowed things down, but in doing so, they've lost all flashes. They've used all utility. And they rely purely on hands now, nothing else. And Lihang waits, hopes that someone's going to sneak through the smoke, hopes that someone's going to come over his way, but that will not be the case. Instead, the pop forward will be met by Child King. Kaze picks up the first. Child King another found. Continues to spray down inside the smoke. Lihang traded. Netic and Hazard all that separate Rare Atom from their major. The bomb recovered, looks to be planted, cannot be done. Netic goes down and the streets of Shanghai will sing as the old dragons soar in the sky one more time. Rare Atom represent China at the Shanghai Major.
When you needed a representative, a hometown hero, someone the people could rally behind, you bring